Is this glass of water safe to drink? Good question, eh? So in order to answer these very important questions, you are going to see in this video what are the standards to be used, what are the main criteria to be used, and finally we'll talk about water quality analysis. In any cases, you must ensure that the quality of water supplied complies with the national water quality regulation in the country where you are working. In the absence of recognized national standards, you can refer to the values and recommendations contained in the WHO Water Quality Guidelines. These guidelines are available for free in the internet, so don't hesitate, go on and consult them. Three main criteria are used in WHO guidelines to assess if water is fit for human consumption. The microbiological quality. It is usually the primary concern in humanitarian contexts because the presence of some pathogens can cause an acute effect on large number of people in a short term. Therefore, a bad microbial quality represents a high risk of epidemics. Some chemical components occurring in the water supply can also be harmful. They are usually a health concern after a long exposure. The principal exception is nitrate. Chemical contamination can be man-made due to industrial or agricultural activities, for instance. But some contaminants can also naturally occur in the ground. At a global scale, fluoride and arsenic are the most significant chemicals, each affecting perhaps millions of people. However, many other chemicals can be important contaminants of drinking water under specific local conditions. Organoleptic criteria are related on how water looked, smell, and taste. It is not necessary because a glass of water is not fully transparent or smell or taste slightly that water is harmful. But organoleptic criteria play an important role in the acceptance of the product by the consumer. In an emergency, for instance, if people do not trust the water quality, they may change to alternative sources which are less safe. Obviously, water quality data are needed to say if water is fit for human consumption. But it is also needed to evaluate the quality of a water source when you have to select one. Some parameters such as the conductivity, nitrate, iron are often collected. Some data are often needed to design the treatment required. For instance, the turbidity and the pH value will impact directly the chlorination. Therefore, depending on the turbidity and the pH, a pre-treatment before the chlorination may be needed. Data are also needed to control water treatment processes, such as the residual chlorine. Finally, data may also be needed to protect water distribution systems against the corrosion. However, be careful with water analysis. It is only a snapshot which gives single result at a given time and a given location. Some parameters can vary strongly. For instance, in some contexts, turbidity and fecal pollution occurs more often in rainy season. And some microbial and chemical parameters can be easily measured in the field with specifically designed portable laboratory and equipment. However, not all the parameters can be measured like that. Some analyses require specific equipment in laboratory. And, however, due to the lack of resources, not all laboratories are reliable. This is why complementary investigations are required. Local knowledge, including medical information, is very valuable. As well, a good understanding of water resources through hydrogeological studies, for instance. Finally, sanitary survey and assessment of risk of contamination are needed. For further information, you can refer to the WHO Water Safety Plans, WSP, which are quite comprehensive. So to answer to our initial question, is this glass of water safe to drink? Remember that we should look at three parameters: the microbial, chemical, and organoleptic. National regulation defines the acceptable values for these different parameters. WHO recommendation can also be used as a guideline. You can measure the different parameters and some of them with portable equipment. However, do not forget that an analysis is just a snapshot of the quality at a given time and at a given location. You should monitor quality over time and continually assess the risk of contamination from the source to your glass. Meanwhile, cheers, and see you in the next video that you will learn a lot about that, of course, hoping that this water was safe.